For the next session, I call upon Dr. Sailaja Meni. Madam is also very passionate about breastfeeding and human milk banking. She is the professor at D.Y. Patel Medical College, Pune, and she is also having. They are also having a comprehensive lactational management center, which is named as Yashoda, and she is the in charge there. Welcome. When I received this topic, applied physiology, means while preparing, I thought everything fits into physiology. So it's so difficult to cover in 15-20 minutes. But still, I have tried my best, and I might be missing. I am missing so many points because it is very difficult to cover in limited given time. So let us see. I will not go into the detail. This is anatomy of the mammary gland, why it is important. At the same time, I will talk about applied physiology also, is how it is important. You know how it is innervated? It is innervated by which nerves? PGs, please. Yeah, please. Which nerves? To be specific, intercostal. Which one? We are having so many intercostal. Fourth and sixth. Okay, and how it enters? Enters at 4 o'clock on left side, 4 and 8 o'clock on left side. I will not go into the details because this is an bird eye view, like a drone ke jaisa hai. But it is important. I will just, it was there. Yeah. See, it enters from lateral side. So whenever there is breast abscess or whenever you are putting ICDs, because you are pediatric residents, whenever we are putting ICDs, particularly in girl, are we careful about it? Small girls, not at all. But remember that we may damage the entry point of the nerve, and that will create problem later on when she will become mother in later on life. Okay, so we have to remember small things, tips I will like to give, but you should remember that. And you should encourage your pediatric surgery residents also, including pediatric surgeons, because this aspect is not at all taken care of. They are entering on right side, from where they are entering on the left side, that it is all available on the net also. You can go ahead and only remember that innervation is important. Why? It is important for what? Because it is supplying areola and nipple, and you know oxytocin prolactin reflexes. Okay, that is very sensitive part, and when it is not innervated properly, it will not stimulate the reflex. I will not go into the details of it. Coming to how it forms. This is mammary ridge. You all know embryology. Okay, and why it is important? Polythelia. It can be seen in the milk line because its ridge starts from 4th to 5th week of gestation, intrauterine, and all these accessory ducts, nipples, glandular tissue, all things can be there. Polymastia, hyperthelia, this will be there in the milk line. So whenever there is some abnormal thing, you have to find out whether it is in milk line or whether it is outside. So it extends from axilla to groin. Okay. Why axilla is important? I will show in the next slide. These are the anomalies of the breast. These are 4 types. I will not go into the detail. You can see there is asymmetry, okay, and tubular breast because glandular tissue is not there. So why this anomaly is important? Because if there is glandular tissue is less, what will happen? Production will be less, obviously. So we have to find out. I have seen so many cases, but I could not get the time to put it into the PPT actually. We are having, if your eyes are open and your brain is sensitized towards that, you are able to pick up the cases. So my job is just to sensitize you people. So how this development occurs? You know, Tanner staging for adolescent girls, 0 to 5, 0 and 1, not 0, 1 is pre-adolescent, then breast budding starts, continued enlargement, contour formation starts, then areola and papilla formation separately, then mature female breast. And after that, within 1.5 year 2 years also, girl will start menstruating. Okay, on an average 1 to 2 years. So breast development starts from antenatal period, then in adolescent girls. So what is this tail of spins? We have seen this. It starts from axilla, right? So this is tail of spins. That is the extension of breast tissue only. So you can see this bulge. These are the true pics which we have taken in our milk bank center. So mammary glandular tissue that projects in the axillary region. Many times, see, there is little bit of breast cancer awareness going on. So that mothers become stressful that I am having some gland in the axilla and that is paining and all whatnot. Because whenever there is breast congestion, it will pain. So you should be aware, and it should be distinguished from the supernumerary tissue because it connects with the duct tissue. Many times it may or may not connect. So treatment is same what we are doing for congestion, which we'll talk later on. So what is mammogenesis? It is development of breast. We have seen anatomical development. Now functional development. Okay, breast to functional state. So what are the hormones involved? Do you know so many hormones are involved? When I was resident, I was not aware of it. Thank you, people are aware of it. In prepubertal period, estrogen, progesterone, ACTH, TSH, thyroid. Then pubertal, hypophyseal, ovarian, uterine cycle is established. Okay. Then it is controlled by estrogen, progesterone mainly. During pregnancy, what happens? Ductular, branching and lobular formation. You are able to see this? And that is with HPL. What is HPL? Human placental lactogen. Very good. This is important because whenever there is induced lactation, without pregnancy, when we are trying to induce lactogen, what is its applied significance? We have to give estrogen and progesterone. We cannot give HPL, but we have to give estrogen and progesterone. Increased growth of alveoli and lobes. It is due to progesterone, estrogen and prolactin. Okay, prolactin also can be given if required in certain diseases, but mainly we are giving estrogen and progesterone in induced lactation. It leads to increased growth and differentiation of alveoli and ductal structures. And of course, nutritious diet and adequate quantity of milk. Previous 3 speakers have done amazing job, so my job is very easy. Quantity of milk is important. Mainly, how much is the water content of milk? Can anyone tell? Yes, please. 80%? Anybody else? At least you remember that it is more of water. So mothers has to take adequate water. In our state also, in periphery today also, they are not giving much water to a mother who is lactating, which is wrong, which is a myth. We have to change it. So coming to nipples, this is normal, flat and inverted, and there is a nipple pinch test. You can go through it later on, but this is important. Whatever you are able to see is not all inverted or not flat. Nipple pinch test will give you how it is. So after pinching this is normal, this is flat and this is inverted. Why it is important? Applied aspect of it. Many times we have to give nipple shield if required, but before that we have to do pinch test and you have to practically start latching. Many times we have seen and experienced that babies will latch and it will come out. So you give first try. Okay? Coming to reflexes. Prolactin, milk ejection reflex. Working? Okay. Thank you. What is milk ejection reflex? Yeah, you have to tell me, huh? What is milk ejection reflex? Huh? Oxytocin is different, prolactin reflex. Yeah, when baby starts sucking, so good attachment is important. What happens? Reflex goes to anterior pituitary and then prolactin hormone, then milk secretion. Prolactin comes into the blood and secretion of the milk starts. So sensory impulse from the nipple is very important. Okay, that's what we have discussed. These are the factors which enhance, like early initiation of breastfeeding. That's why breast crawl, early attachment, start latching within as early as possible, not even within 1 hour, half hour, as early as possible on the table of the delivery table itself, including cesarean sections, except when mother is serious or baby is serious. Okay, that is the importance of it. Good attachment, effective suckling is important. Frequent feeding, particularly during night, because prolactin secretion is increased during night. So night feeding, many times what happens, mother is exhausted, tired, delivered, stitches and all those things. So grandmothers, what they do, at our place also we have faced this problem. They go to milk bank, and she is sleeping quietly and you give milk, but it will be a harmful practice, and we have to counsel and re-counsel and repeatedly counsel for that. And we had fights also, many times, many centers had experience. Then emptying of the breast is a stimulus for the secretion of prolactin. Okay, and these are the hindering factors: delay in initiation, prelactal feeds, bottle feeding, incorrect positioning, painful breast due to any reason. Then what about oxytocin reflex? This is same pathway. It is stimulated by thinking of even thought of a baby, cry of any other's baby, or even pick of a baby. Mother will start secreting the milk. Even secretion will come out of the breast also. It will start dripping. Sound of the baby, sight of the baby, and when mother is confident. That's why counseling we should start from antenatal period. Even in fact we have started counseling to adolescent girls, because I am working in adolescents also. We should, whenever there is opportunity, you should talk with that. Particularly menstrual hygiene, when you are talking, you just talk for a few minutes at least regarding importance of breastfeeding. You should not say that you will start, you should do. No, know these words, because they will become shy and that is not the age to talk. Importance of breastfeeding. I appeal them that you become brand ambassador of your community. Even in slums, when I go for some workshops of adolescent girls, adolescent related problems, I tell them that whenever you are having an opportunity nearby, bhabhi, whoever is delivering, you go and help her. That they will like, because that is leadership quality. Okay, and at that age group, that is normal to help to the, means they are full with energy also. So you should start counseling at that time also. It is inhibited by worry, stress, pain, or any doubt also. These are the reflexes in the mother. And what about reflexes in the baby? Suckling reflex. These are the feeding reflexes. Rooting reflex, you all know this. Whenever baby turns, rooting reflex, sucking reflex, swallowing reflex, gag reflex. These are the reflexes. This is the pictorial part of it, which we have already discussed. So why it is important? Why we are behind lactation, mother's milk? You all know what advantages it is having, but just to highlight, brain development is important, dendrites development it is important, angiogenesis, maturation of all organs. Okay, because it is having so many growth factors. Okay, apart from the nutritional factors, so many growth factors also. And you all know that Hima also had told at morning that it is also important for avoiding prevention of metabolic syndrome. Okay, and then epidermal growth factors, insulin. What happened? Insulin like growth factors also. Milk is also having so many. Yeah, so milk is also having so many. It is as I had already discussed, it is like a blood product. Is it live or it is dead product? Milk is live or dead product? Live? Good, very good. So why it is live product? It is having so many cells. Which cells? Leukocytes are there. Then there are so many stem cells are there, which I will talk in my last slide. Okay, stem cells are also there, growth factors are there. So it is live product. It has to be treated like a live product, so carefully. Okay, so coming to development of the functional capacity, lactogenesis 1. What is lactogenesis 1? It is synthesis and secretion from alveoli. You all know that breast is milk is secreted from alveoli, lactocytes. Okay, and it starts from mid pregnancy. So it is normal to have few drops, some congestion, some pain, And we have to counsel during pregnancy only. So you have to catch hold of your OBGY friends, colleagues, faculties. It is a teamwork, of course. Okay. Then mammary secretion cells goes to prolactin secretion starts and it produces the milk. Mammary secretory cells, that is lactocytes. Milk secretion starts from 16th prenatal week, antenatally 16th week. Okay. So what is the application? Whenever there is high risk pregnancy or some quantity of milk secretion is there, routinely, except in high risk pregnancy, you have to, means it is with the consent of the treating gynecologist. They can start collecting the few drops of milk, which can be given to the baby after delivery, because many times baby might be premature because that is high risk pregnancy. Okay, then she may not be having some chance to feed the baby directly, because colostrum is first vaccination of the baby, that is equal to more than amrut. There is no any other word, that's why I am saying amrut, more than amrut. Okay, so that is important. Antenatal expression storage, particularly gestational diabetes. Many girls are having obesity now and they are having gestational diabetes and any other illness also. And it is important for a lactation suppression if required when baby is having, whether baby is died due to any reason or it is IUD. Okay. So these are the stages of lactogenesis, 1, 2, 3. One starts from birth to 2 to 5 days. Milk formation begins, but quantity is less. Lactogenesis 2 begins 2 to 5 days to almost up to 10 days. Slowly volume starts increasing and it is established, well established after 10 days, and it will be almost stable. So do you know how much important it is to start feeding and importance of it during early initiation and continuation? Coming to composition, I will not go into the details. I will just give an overview. Colostrum and then mature milk. Okay, colostrum, this is antibody rich, having many white cells. It is purgative also because meconium is to be passed within how much time? Meconium to be passed normally within? Right. So it helps. It is having so many growth factors, rich in vitamin A. It protects against infection, allergy, then clears meconium, helps intestine mature, gut maturity, gut closure. Okay, gut flow. I will not talk much on it because time is less. Gut closure is also important. It prevents allergy, intolerance, asthma, skin allergies. So many things can be avoided because it helps in gut closure. It reduces the severity of the infection. And it is, see, breast secretion is a dynamic process. Dynamic means what? It changes. Depends upon gestational age. Sir had already told, preterm and full term milk, we all know that is different in composition. At our center, we are collecting preterm mother's milk separately and we are storing also separately. So whenever there is some requisition from the NICU, we try to give that milk whenever possible. Okay, then it depends upon stage of lactation. Colostrum milk is different than mature milk. During feeding also, each feeding also, fore milk and hind milk. You can see what is the color of this? Bluish tinge. Okay, and this is hind milk. You know what is fore milk and hind milk? Yeah, initially, because initially is watery part and it contains calcium more, and later on fat content is more, so it is thicker. So these are the differences. I will not, I will not read colostrum, fore milk and hind milk. Fore milk is rich in very little in fat and calories. Okay, but it is rich in water content, so it quenches the thirst. Colostrum we already discussed. Hind milk is thicker because it contains more of fat and other nutrients. So what is practical application of it? Yeah, each feeding breast has to be empty so that baby will receive fore milk. Of course, colostrum, no doubt we have to give it. Many in India there are many cultural practices that chick दूध बोलते हैं उसको, हाँ, जो initial जो colostrum है, they throw at many places even today because there is some myth that it is not to be given. Okay, so we have to change that. And fore milk, if baby is getting only fore milk, what will happen? Baby will not gain the proper weight and baby will poo more. Watery stools will be there. Okay, and baby will start crying because it is not sufficient and high in milk. If it is not taken properly, baby will not have weight gain. So what is ejection? From 30 to 72 hours after delivery of placenta, ejection of milk starts. Proper ejection I am telling about. So delivery of placenta is important because progesterone has to drop. Then only prolactin will start coming up. So whenever there are bits of retained placenta, what will happen? Lactation failure will be there. Of course, all bleeding and all other things will be there. I am just talking about our aspect. So maternal conditions which can delay lactogenesis, there are so many: antepartum, intrapartum, postpartum, primipara, type 1 diabetes, obesity, PCOS, thyroid dysfunction, thecal luteal cyst, then isolated prolactin deficiency due to any other syndromes, then breast surgery, we have already seen, reduction mammoplasty, then augmentation surgeries. We had one case in Pune, augmentation with silicone grafts. It will start soon in India also. So we have to know what is it. Then intrapartum factor C-section, prolonged second stage, maternal fluid overload. This is also very important. Many times mothers are kept on IV fluids, and if they overload, they will have delayed lactation. Okay. Then labor analgesia. That will also, because mother will be drowsy, then sensitivity, the sensory reflexes will be depressed. Postpartum retention of placenta, Sheehan syndrome and stress. What is Sheehan syndrome? Hemorrhage, pituitary hemorrhage, and leading to necrosis of the pituitary. That is Sheehan syndrome. Good. So what is the role of prolactin? We have to stimulate it with the help of breast crawl, skin to skin contact, early and frequent latching. Frequency, it should be minimum 8 to 10 times per day. Many mothers start feeding, or particularly when their babies are in NICU, NICU. How many times they come for expression? We have to take lot of efforts. We have to send them from NICU to for expression. At least they should do hand expression wherever they are. If possible, if there is milk bank or LMC, you should send there. Don't bother about quantity, how much they are getting, because anyway first 3 days they will have less quantity. We have to stimulate the breast. That is more important, so that when baby will become proper, will be able to latch properly, gestational wise or sickness or whatever weight gain, then mother will have proper milk, because she will have lactation failure. And this aspect is not taken, sorry to say, at many centers, even by neonatologists, pediatrician, residents and faculties. So we have to ensure that they are going for expression, and at each time how much should be stimulation? 10 to 15 minutes. It should mimic normal cycle, that's it. So exclusive breastfeeding is also important, and preterm mothers must start expression within 1 hour of delivery. How we are doing like a normal labor. That is very important. For maintenance of lactation, see, initially we have seen so much of endocrine. Okay, to start with it is endocrine, but later on it becomes autocrine. What is autocrine? Autocrine control of the, right. How it is getting controlled? Emptying of the breast is the stimulus for the secretion of prolactin. Okay, and if it is not emptied, it leads to FIL. What is FIL? Feedback inhibitors of lactation. Okay, FIL. I will go to it in next slide. So autocrine control occurs later on. So adequacy of lactation can be judged by frequency of the stooling. How many times baby should pass stool? Urination? 6 to 8 times. This is actually urination and stooling. 6 to 8 times. Okay, even during summer, particularly when baby is not dehydrated. And stooling frequency can be 2 to 3 times to even constipated babies is normal to some extent by examination with other points. So good positioning is very important. It can reduce the incidence of nipple pain, nipple trauma. What is FIL? It is a protein actually, whey protein, which is synthesized by lactoside. Whenever there is breast congestion, FIL factors are stimulated. Nature says no, this is not required. So it inhibits the lactation. So to avoid the secretion of FIL and stimulation by FIL in a negative way, we have to empty the breast, and that counseling we have to tell to the points should be told to the mothers. So I will not go into the detail. You know what is latching, positioning and all. 5 points, can you just enumerate fast? Latching, 5 points. Fast. Baby's mouth should be wide open, 160 degree. Lower lip should be everted. Chin should be touching to the breast. Then baby should be turned. That is first point of positioning. Baby's stomach, tummy should touch to the tummy of the mother. It should not be rotation of the. How we are taking food? We are taking like this. You can eat at lunch like this. Is it easy? No, it is so difficult. So it should be in the body, should be neck should be in the alignment, so that swallowing will be easy for the baby. Okay, this point should be taken care, and mother at any position whatever she is comfortable with. Then this is very important slide. Why most of the grandmothers particularly are not giving the baby for latching? No, she had not started getting the milk. मराठी में हमारे यहाँ बोलते हैं दूध आला नहीं अजून. That means milk secretion had not started, but we know milk secretion had started already in antenatal period. We have to just stimulate, isn't it? We have to open the gates, that's it. Absolute amount is required is very small, because on day 1 stomach of the baby is of cherry size, 5 to 7 ml. So 1 to 1 and not more than 1.5 teaspoons, that much is the quantity at a time is required. Okay. Day 3, size of the walnut, 25 ml approximately, 1 ounce. 1 week, size of apricot, 45 to 60 ml, 1.5 to 2 ounce. And then 1 month, it is a 150 ml, 80 to 150 ml, 5 ounce. So nature is very cleverer than us. We are failing to read that, whatever nature is creating. Okay, so we should not do. It helps to practice. Why it is very small quantity? इसमें जाना है तो इस viscosity, you know, colostrum is very thick, viscosity is very high, because baby has to practice. Baby don't know how to do suckling, how to do swallowing, breathing in between. That is an exercise to be learned for the baby also. So we have to give some time. So nature is giving time by giving less quantity, but quality is very good. So it prevents choking. Okay, because larger quantity, whenever they give some top milk or from the donor milk, from the milk bank, it will be of more quantity. So baby, there are chances that baby will have choking. So we should not interfere in the nature's process. So volume is as per the stomach size, and breastfeed babies produce more ketone bodies for the brain to utilize. You know why babies do not become hypoglycemic? All the pediatricians are scared of this hypoglycemia. But do you know how nature protects? Yes? Yeah, brain uses ketone bodies, and they are having neoglucogenesis. Excellent neoglucogenesis. Okay, glycogenolysis. All these processes are at its best in the neonatal period. And what is the sugar level for newborns? 45. Many ABM protocols and are giving even 30 to 35. If it is asymptomatic, we should not. 25. So symptomatic hypoglycemia should be treated, and everybody is giving top milk because mainly they are scared. Particularly, I am very sad to say that gynecologists and pediatricians are the people who give teens, even in our city, and it is all over India. I don't know what is happening outside. So we have to educate all of them that don't get scared of hypoglycemia. Whatever baby is getting quantity, it is good in quality, and it will prevent hypoglycemia. So these are the stages. Antenatal collection, you can see it is very small quantity, but it is important, and we can collect in the syringe, and we can label it, and we can keep it in the deep freezer by labeling of the mother's name, and we can give to her own baby. Then colostrum, important for newborns. Fore milk, hind milk, we have already seen it. I will not go into the detail, just to highlight that there are so many immunological properties which are required. You can see IgA, IgG, these are important in the mother's milk. So this mother is in ICU actually. So encourage the expression whenever possible, particularly in COVID time and all, we have done lot of these things. Massage and all, I will not go into the details, we have already seen. Milk storage guidelines, this is also available, I will not go into the details, but we should know this and we should teach to the mothers also, particularly working mothers. Coming to composition, again I will not go into the details. It contains so many organisms, nutrients, bioactive products, cytokines, chemokines, there are so many. Then it depends upon this is required for growth and development of the baby, to avoid all the communicable and non-communicable diseases, and it depends upon the maternal factors, early life factors and environmental factors as well. Preterm and donor milk. Preterm mother's own milk is always preferred. So these are the positions, and whatever position mother is comfortable, it may not fit into whatever is scientific position or given identified position, and these are the points which we have already discussed. This is poor attachment, because baby is suckling only areola, no, nipple. What we say, nipple feeding, areola feeding we say. What we are saying? Breastfeeding. That means maximum part of the breast should be inside, particularly areola. Okay, so this is wrong position. And what is this? One side baby is feeding and other side expression is going on, because reflexes we have seen oxytocin, prolactin, so we can get maximum yield, particularly working mothers or whenever there is hyperlactation, mother is producing more, we can do this method. Whenever baby is doing only this position, what happens is this. What is this? Crack nipple. This is nipple bleb. Previous speakers since morning had told that we should use proper flange size. Whenever mother's breast, suppose this is the areola and this is the breast, and we are keeping only small size flange, what will happen? More of a negative pressure, and negative pressure also of the breast pump should be, we should start with stimulation cycle, and slowly whatever mother tolerates, slowly we should increase it, otherwise mothers will get nipple bleb due to poor attachment and negative pressure also with pumps and crack nipple. Then what will happen? It will increase the stimulation. What will happen? Negative feedback, pain, and again suppression of all reflexes. So it will reduce the lactation. So how will you assess? Wet nappies, we have already seen it. And weight gain. And what is this? Many mothers are having query that I am not having proper quantity of breast milk, even though they are having. Then how to prove it? Pre and post feeding. This all clothing should be minimum, and with the same clothes we should wear. So error this machine should be calibrated. Sir had already taught quality control. Okay, small things are important. What is this? Newborn nappies. Day 1, at least one nappy, that is black greenish meconium. Day 2, there should be 2 nappies. Very easy to remember for peaches. 1, 2. Then 3 nappies. These are just guidelines. Greenish brown. 4, at least 4 wet nappies. Okay, then 5, it is transitional stool. Okay, mature. This is all transitional stool. This is meconium. And suppose there is any baby who is still passing greenish blackish on day 7 even. What it indicates? See, transitional yellow color. How are the breastfed stools? Golden yellow. Okay, so baby is still passing greenish stool, which is not a transitional stool, on day 7 also. What is your diagnosis? Yes, fast. Still baby is not getting enough feed. That is a sign of poor feeding. If feeding frequency and adequacy is there, baby will start passing golden yellow stools from day 5. This is the practical applied physiology of it. These are the true pigs: meconium poo, sticky greenish, then soft green, then green brown, and then brown yellow, and then yellow mustard. This can be having seedy or grainy consistency. At any time, have you seen this? In NICU, please go ahead and see this. This is very important and practical aspect of adequacy of the stools. It will tell you so many things. I have not taken the pics of nappy which is having. Do you know babies can have blood in the nappy? So it can be with two reasons. Tell me. Maternal hormones, PV bleeding. Okay, estrogen withdrawal. Okay, good. Then second. No, cow's milk नहीं दिया है अभी. We will not talk about cow here. Second, have you noted that urate crystals? Do you know that? Urate crystals will pass through baby's urine. Whenever baby's urine is thick one. So that is also a sign of inadequate feeding. Okay, so you find out that that bleeding is from PV bleed in baby girls, or it is from the urine. Okay, and urine, it will be only just streaks of it. It will be diluted in the urine. So you have to see that. I forgot to put that bit. Coming to volume, we have already discussed it. So if there is engorgement, it can lead to mastitis, breast abscess, and inadequacy or failure. So how will you come to know what is full breast and what is full versus engorged? Full breast, it will not happen within 3 days. We already discussed. Volume will start really increasing after 3rd day, 4th day. It will be hot, heavy, or it may be hard. Milk will start flowing and fever will not be seen. But in engorged breast, what will happen? It will be painful, edematous, it will be tight. Nipple will be having edema. Then it will be shiny, skin will be shiny. It may look red. Milk may not be flowing because it will be all clogged. Okay, it will not flow. It will be like a stony hard. Staff who is working in the milk bank might have seen so many cases. Then it may cause a decrease in milk supply if it happens, because this notorious thing. What is it? FIL is what? Right, correct. So these are the pics. This is engorged breast. This is mastitis. You can see whole skin, and this is abscess. And many times thank God, we are not having any case of breast abscess in our hospital since established 2013. But since so many years, we are getting now references of the mothers who are having abscesses, and they are requesting us to help. And worst case, I have seen that we have to do MRSA case, we have to do skin grafting to the breast. That was the worst case I have seen. Okay, so we have to help them to express also. And whether we should give breastfeeding, I want to tell on this thing. Yes, particularly these two cases we must give. Even in this, if possible, by doing so many measures, by back massage, which simulates the oxytocin reflex, and then cold compresses, okay, and then breast massage if possible, with the help of medicines. Because whenever baby is sucking properly, that is the natural process, and that gives good relief to the mother and good relief to the breast. Okay, if not possible, if baby is in ICU particularly and baby is not able to latch, then we have to do manual expression or with the help of pump. Only contraindication is that if that breast abscess had opened or incision is taken nearby the areola, which might go into the baby's mouth. If that incision is on the periphery, we should. Okay, of course we have to do the culture and all other things, and many times it is concealed abscess, it is not opening into the main duct. I will not go into the detail, primary and second multi. Do you know this? Coordination between sucking, swallowing and breathing, one sequence is there. So whenever baby is taking breastfeeding, you have to observe, particularly babies who are tiny. NICU graduates are, you are feeding in NICU. Swallowing coincides with the cessation of nasal airflow. Initially it is transient immature sucking pattern, 3 to 5 sucks and then burst off followed by swallow. 3 to 5 sucks, then swallow. Okay, slowly it increases, 10 to 30 bursts within 24 to 48 hours, and then 17 to 18 sucks and burst by 1 month. Okay, by 6 months it is 32 at the age of 6 months. So this is important that baby should learn. And when baby will learn? By providing what is spoon? Palliative feeding? No, baby has to suck. Okay, and this is facilitated by neuroendocrine control, milk ejection reflex, and negative pressure in the oral cavity, positive pressure of the tongue against the teeth. See, this nipple goes in the mouth at the palate. Do you know that? I hope. Okay, so palate structures are also important. Increase intraductal pressure leads to stimulation of the reflex. So what is this sucking and suckling business? Is it same or different? Sucking is what? By means which infant takes the nourishment by the breast, that is suckling. And sucking is drawing of food into the mouth by rhythmic movements. Okay, rhythmic movements on pacifier fingers to explore the environment. It is required for what? Yesterday some student was there with me. She told that she is having that topic, early stimulation. Whenever we are having premature babies, sick babies who are having birth asphyxia, we have to stimulate this by doing oromotor stimulation. You are doing here now? Yes. So this is immature suck and this is mature suck. Nutritive suckling and non-nutritive. What is this? Nutritive suckling means what? Baby is getting proper quantities of food. Okay, quantity of food, sucking to obtain the nutrient. Okay. And then NNS is what? That is again one of the part of oromotor stimulation. Okay, that is important or not? Yeah, that student told me that. I was very happy that how much percentage of mothers will be able to give breastfeeding directly while giving discharge. One group is without the oromotor stimulation and other is with oromotor stimulation. For premature babies, we have to do this oromotor stimulation and NNS, empty breast. Okay. There are so many problems which will have difficulty in latching. You can see this. Where will be negative pressure? It will not be. Okay. Then Down syndrome, because they are hypotonic. Micrognathia, retrognathia, there are so many syndrome. Which is syndrome? One syndrome, please. Correct. Good. There are so many situations where we have to help the babies and mother. Coming to this part, lactation pharmacology. These are the processes: exocytosis, reverse pinocytosis, transport, apical transport, transcytosis, then paracellular pathways, how the drugs are secreted into the milk. Okay. What is importance of it? Drugs compatible with breastfeeding are these. Should be having these criteria. Many times you must be also getting calls from other department, particularly surgery, even gynec, if she is having some problem. This drug we should give or not, or mother, we are giving this drug whether to breastfeed or not. You are getting such calls or not? No? You should get actually. So drug which is having low lipid solubility, having short half-life, having low milk to plasma ratio, less than 1, oral absorption is less, bioavailability is less, and which is acidic, should be prescribed as far as possible. And it should be high in protein binding, molecular weight should be more than 800 Dalton. I remember one case during COVID, our neurophysician had called us that one of the mother it was a referred case from outside. She had COVID and whatever. She was having brain clotting of one of the vessel. And they wanted to start heparin and Clexane and all those things. So they had called what to do. Remember, that is very much high molecular weight. So it is very safe. But they were not able to believe on me. They said, you write it, you give us in return that we can give it safely. So you should remember, you should know this physiology. Dose and duration of treatment is also important. And coming to radioactive compounds, 5 half-lives, 96.9% of the radiation has gone, particularly in thyroid scan, and radioactive dyes are used in so many other scans also, hepatic and GI scans and so many things. So you should remember that 5 half-life. Find out the half-life of that drug and then 5 half-life. Then you can start feeding. Till then we have to express the milk and we have to discard, don't throw, discard in a proper way, because it is having radioactivity. We have to dump it in the ground. We have to tell all these things. Okay, and the person who is expressing should be preferably mother own. Okay, and if we start feeding, what will happen? Within that, baby will get radioactive radiation, and even it is stored in the radioactive compound is stored in the breast tissue. So even if we are not giving the milk, we should not give the baby to the mother till the. So what we should do? We should give top feeding during that period. Yes, we are very happy that they are thinking. We have to store it before going to the study, radioactive study. Store it, start 3-4 days prior. Store it for a few hours, whatever hours. Okay, and then give that milk. Until then, some caretaker should take care of baby. Coming to galactococcus, I will not go into the natural galactococcus. There are so many, and because we are not expert on that, but fenugreek and some other traditional things are tried and they are having good results. And particularly in our aspect, domperidone. Domperidone is widely used. 10 milligram 3 times a day. We can give for 5 days, or a few times we have to give for even 2 weeks or more, but we have to monitor and we have to be in touch with the mother. I will not go into the detail. I just wanted to highlight. There are so many different colors. Okay, what is this red? If red blood comes, then we have to feed. Okay, red, I am talking about red. Initially it can be due to rusty pipe syndrome. It can be cracked nipple, or it can be something serious like carcinoma, ductal carcinoma. Okay, but all other things reduces. Ductal carcinoma, it will have pure orange and all other signs. Then orange. Okay, that is transitional milk. Green color occurs due to whenever mothers are eating some herbal products or even some health drinks. Okay, or some health supplements. Then blue, already we have seen colostrum, food dyes. Then this is what? Brown. That comes with rusty pipe syndrome. What is rusty pipe syndrome? It may occur for a few days also. It is pipes. Sir had told rusty, shown you the pic. Rusted steel containers. It is a very gross comparison. Just to remember, I am telling you. Ducts of the mammary ducts will have some bleeding. And then we should feed or not. That is more important. We should continue feeding. That is not a contraindication. We should continue feeding. Rusty pipe syndrome is physiological, normal. We have to counsel. Few points about induced lactation or relactation. These are the indication. Adopted child. Just since last 1 month, I am having this mother who is failed. Even she had failed with induced lactation. Adopted child, surrogacy. Then separation of diet due to many reasons. Then initiating milk production at some places. Okay, how to initiate? We have to start from this. Whenever they know that baby will come. Before baby comes to the home, we have to start treatment 2 months prior with the help of domperidone. Initially we have to give hormonal treatment. I will not go into the detail. Hormonal treatment we have to give, then we have to stop that and we have to give domperidone. And at the same time we have to start stimulating the breast by hand massage or with pumps, because natural stimulation reflexes we have to activate, and then they can get good quantity of milk. I know one mother who had donated milk after induction. She had adopted the baby and it was more than enough for her baby, and she had donated to us. So that much quantity also, without pregnancy I am talking about. Okay, that can happen, and that is a scientific process actually. I will not go into the detail. What is this? That is SNS, supplemental nursing system. Whenever baby comes, baby will not suck if there is no breast milk. So we have to supplement the milk through container with the help of all this treatment. Again we have to, how much time I have? I will finish within 2-3 minutes. That is SNS, supplemental nursing system. At least you should know about it. Gut microbiome. I don't want to talk about this, but breast milk I want to talk that Bifidobacterium and Lactobacilli, these are important for inhibition of pathogenic bacteria in the gut. Even single feed of anything, any milk than mother's milk can breach the barrier and it can lead to allergy, infection and so many things, and that is lifelong problem. What is this HMO? Correct, human milk oligosaccharides that are important for the growth of good bacteria and to inhibit the bad bacteria. Few words about neonatal jaundice, suboptimal intake jaundice and breast milk jaundice. Suboptimal intake jaundice. What is enterohepatic circulation? Fast. Yeah, if baby's gut is empty, so quantity of feeding is very important and frequency of feeding is also important. So if suboptimal intake is there, baby will have jaundice. So breastfeeding is very important to start initiation and then frequency for not only for the mother but for baby's health also. And breast milk jaundice is not very common and it can lead to, I will not go into the details of it. So when to feed? Within first hour, 8 to 12 times, skin to skin contact, effective suckling, and we have to identify early feeding cues. We have taken it into our module also, Hima had taken it. What are the early cues? Baby saying I am hungry, stirring, then opening of the mouth, turning the head, rooting reflex comes in. Mid cues, I am really hungry, stretching of the hands and legs and body, increasing physical movement, hand to mouth. And then late cues, crying, agitated. Then baby is saying, first calm me and then feed me. Whenever baby is crying, baby will never take feed. We have to calm and soothe the baby. Coming to last few slides, I want to highlight this. We are doing study on this stem cells. We are very lucky to have stem cell lab in our institute, and we are doing one of our postgraduate student had just now completed the thesis. Results are awaited. There are so many dynamic cells. And cell count is, you can just read this, highest cell count on day 2 and 3. So this is again one of the highlight why we should start feeding at the earliest. Okay? And these stem cells are pluripotent cells. Pluripotent means what? It can get converted into any type of cell. And that we are not able to produce, even though our science is so much gone ahead. So we should give this benefit to the baby. These are the conditions we have already seen. I will not go into the detail now. How we can forget COVID? Whether to feed or not? Yes, we have to follow the protocol and we have to give breastfeeding by. Apart from benefits of breastfeeding, it gives ready-made antibodies. We are not having vaccination for newborns and infants. Okay, it gives ready-made antibodies to the babies. What is temporary contraindication? If there are herpetic lesions, okay, cracked nipples with hepatitis B, C, then mother with symptomatic hepatitis E, then iodine, we already discussed it. Then MDR TB, we can express and give. And what is this? What are those? Alcohol, tobacco, so many drugs. That is happening, that is there in the media since so many days. I will not go into the detail, but that is also having impact and we will have problems. So take home message is, antenatal counseling is important, identify at risk, and we have to start feeding at earliest. And there are so many things which can be taken as physiological, which we have discussed. So happy and satisfied mothers, you can see how much satisfied she is. Okay, and she is with two babies. These are the references. Thank you. Thanks a lot.